Yo, what is good? Washington Football Addicts, Washington Football Nation. We are back on a special This is our second segment this week, but this is our episode 100. 100.
Two powder for the 100.
That's right. That's right. And so today we figured if it's episode 100, we hit the century mark. We figured we wanted to bring in a friend of ours, a great friend of the show, to help us celebrate the 100th episode and help us talk some Dallas and some Washington football. So you know him as number 13 on the field. He's number 1 in our hearts. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Anthony Armstrong.
Yeah,
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? Congrats on 100, man. That's tough.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We appreciate you coming on with us, man.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you very
problem.
Much. Last time we talked, I think it was early or midsummer. The team was going through training camp and stuff. So a lot has happened since July, as when we last had you on.
Yeah, it's been interesting for sure.
Yeah, but first, before we get started, I just want to say, on behalf of all of us, congratulations to you on the birth of your son. Welcome, baby Arrow.
Yeah,
baby boy Arrow. Love the name, man. And you know what? It all makes sense because on the thumbnail picture, I had you with the arrow. I mean, and it totally hit me. I was like, man, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. He's a cool little dude, man. He's a cool little dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And so yeah, let's just kick it right off. So it's Dallas week. This is a huge week for us. We're on a 4-game streak. We're just now at 6-6. So we got a lot of football left. 5 games left. And for us, it's all into the division. Before we get rolling, there are a few people who just want to jump in and say hi. We have our boy T-Ho. Say hi, Mr. Thomas Millen. Yeah. Welcome. Mr. Mark Whitey Pineswood. Welcome. Yes, blessing talk to a family legend. That's right. That's you, Ant. That's you.
Oh man.
And Tio says big fan. So yeah, number 13. So yeah,
Mark.
Kicking it right off. What is your fondest memory of Dallas up here in Washington? Can you give us a little bit of insight of what it was like, being on the team, prepping, having it at home, and then having it away?
Oh man. So my first game was Dallas week in 2010. That was the game that, Dallas had the ball at the end and it was like incomplete pass to Roy Williams. And I was like the second dude to rush the field because I was so hyped to be playing in the league, and then 2 to beat my hometown team. So I was mad hyped. But then you learn how much DC and Washington fans dislike Dallas. It blows my mind. They didn't want to accept me because I was from Dallas, or I'm from the Dallas area, and they're like, I don't know, man. I'm like, but I'm on y'all side now, right? But it's literally an entire week of hey, this week we're gonna punch Dallas, and then we're gonna kick Dallas, and then we're gonna push them off a cliff. It's like every day you got something that you want to do. And that makes its way onto the field. It's an exciting week. And as you know that if you win 2 games all year, you better beat Dallas twice. Right. And everybody they'll deal with the fact that, hey, ain't but 2 wins, but hey, we'll beat Dallas, right? The emotion's always there, and it carries over onto the field. It really does. I mean, for me, it was you got to show out because your family's in the stands. Yeah, everybody that I knew growing up, they're Cowboys fans, but they cheering for me that day. So Dallas weeks are always special. Always special. One of the best. And yeah, I like that the schedule makers put these games at the end of the year now because they have a little bit more.
Do you?
I like it too. I ain't gonna lie.
From the outside, you like, okay, this means more. It's cool. It's always gonna be a big game, but when it's 0-0, on the record book, you beat them then, and then you remember, but you forget. It gets down to the end of the line. Now, when it means something, it just adds that much more to it. I was talking to a friend, long time. He's a Washington fan, And he was like, man, he's like, I need Chase Young's energy on the sideline this game. Like he needs him on the sideline. And I can feel that. Like, shoot, I wish I could be on the sideline. You know what I mean? Like when they come to Dallas, I want to be on the sideline. But hey, we'll see what happens. I just love this week. It's probably one of the best rivalries in football.
Yep.
It's underrated. It's underrated, but it's a deep-seated, like, we don't like y'all.
Right.
We don't like y'all.
Chris McDaniel says, hating Dallas is a special kind of passion. Tio says, been a heated rival for many years, and the rest of the season means a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is a rivalry that was born out of hate between two teams and two coaches from the inception of the Dallas Cowboys. Because it literally before the Cowboys were formed, they were a rival. Because our owner wouldn't vote to bring in the franchise. So in turn, they stole the rights to the old fight song and basically said, we'll sell you back those rights to that fight song if you vote for us to have a franchise. So like you want to talk about that's probably the first time there's ever been a rivalry in sports that began before there was ever a game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If that tells you anything about how deep it runs. I've always wondered this, and you're a man who can provide really unique perspective on this. Not too many people have seen both sides of this coin. But what's the difference between Washington fans and Dallas fans, especially in general, but also towards the players in your experience?
Oh man, that's kind of tough. Like down here, if you play for the Cowboys, or so, like full disclosure, like I have Cowboys that are clients of mine on the real estate side, right? And I'm friends with them, and but they know I play for Washington. So like this week, like we ain't cool, but we, if they need help, I'm gonna still help them out. And I told a young fella, I was like, man, you're a superstar now, like in the city, like they love you, and it's the same vibe. Like people love Cowboys players down here. But I will say, growing up, you didn't have that hatred towards Washington that Washington had towards Dallas. You know what I mean? It was just another game on the schedule. And honestly, I think it was, you grew up in the early 90s. It's like Cowboys fans were focusing on San Francisco, Green Bay. Who's going to stop the Cowboys from getting to the Super Bowl?
So you were a Dallas fan growing up?
I grew up a Dallas fan. The first football team I played on was the Cowboys. I wore 22. My mom was up there yelling, "Get him, so like Emmett, Michael Irvin lived in the neighborhood. Like I grew up a Cowboys fan. And matter of fact, I was in the Cowboys organization with the Desperados in 07 and 08 in arena ball. And my head coach, Will McClay, who runs the draft for the Cowboys, he was a scout at that point. And so he was always pushing his players, be like, hey, you need to look at this guy, look at this guy. And so when I didn't get signed by them, I ended up having to go to Miami. I say having to. Miami signed me after that whole conglomerate, Bill Parcells, Sperano. It was like Dallas on South Beach. They went down there and then they signed me. And then eventually I worked my way up to Washington. So by the time I got to Washington, I'm like deep-seated kind of pissed off that Dallas never gave me a shot, right? I'm like the hometown kid. I'm there, So now I'm on the other side. And it was like, it wasn't like, LeBron James in the decision, but it was like, it's like,
take your talents to DC, huh?
Yeah, but it wasn't my choice. I was like, I need a job.
Right.
But, it was like, when we came down to Dallas, I was like, I want to beat their ass. I want to beat their ass and show them what they could have had. You know what I mean? And
then you wrote a book. Then you wrote a book called, Surviving Dallas.
Hey, shit.
No, what he did was he went down and dropped 5 catches for 100 yards in Dallas at the end of the season. That's what he did. That's what he did. Did you have family at the game
too? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was it's good. But like you talk about the relationship with the fans, both sides. I would say that Washington fans seem to be, y'all know the roster all the way up and down. Y'all know all 53, and now it's like a damn near 90. I don't know, but y'all know all. But like y'all give so much love. Rest in peace, Cole Brennan. You know what I mean? Like Marco Mitchell, like those guys that were like in the preseason who were like, man, this guy really need to make the right. Like I see so much love for Cam Sims. Like I'm like, these dudes could stay in DC and then just have a great life after football and never even touch the field and still be, popular. Hell, I go back to DC and still get some love every now and again. So like that's big. I don't, you don't get that down here. I don't get that down here. And the big names do. Right. I mean, Dak, Zeke, those guys get love, but they're not finna call on you. Hey, Noah Brown's out here, right? So, I mean, no disrespect, but it's just like
I don't even know who fucking Noah Brown is.
Yeah. He wears 85, right? He wears 85. He looks like CD Lamb, but he's not CD Lamb on the field, right?
Not as fast.
Yeah.
Our boy Shotguns. He's a Bears fan. He's a Packers fan stuck in Chicago. He's a friend of the show. I guess that's why he said he loves his Rob besides Packer Bear. So
he's my friend in real life. He's a cool guy.
Oh, really?
A couple more folks want to say hi to you, Anthony. This is our friend Marcus Edlin. Good to see you. Thomas says, I love the end of the year rivalry. Make it our own fate. It's how we made it last year. Prove your worth. This is the most hype I've been about our rivalry in a long time, and we did work last year. Fuck Dallas. Not sorry. Chris McDaniel, welcome. Loving the story. Yeah, Chris loves the history. Thomas says, when he was 5 years old, saying, boo Dallas. Even more facts. My two sons are Pittsburgh and Washington, just like their mom and dad, but every week they know, boo Dallas. That's right. And one more comment for the group. T Hill says, I know Randy Moss wanted to be a Cowboy, but he got drafted by the Vikings, and on his rookie season he got 3 T's against his team. It really reminded me back in the late 90s.
I remember that game. Oh my God. And then literally every touchdown we was like, Jerry, wait, you could have had that, Jerry. You over here wanted to go. I forget who he drafted that year. I think he drafted somebody on defense. It might have been the Roy Williams draft, something like that. Somewhere in that time frame, it was just like Randy Moss or whoever the hell you picked.
Right.
And now you look at it like Jerry now seems like he'll take a chance on a guy with the checkered past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, man, you wish you would have took a chance on Randy Moss.
Yeah. Who are your top 5 receivers of all time?
All time?
Right.
Man, so my lists, I'll start off. My favorite receiver of all time is Marvin Harrison.
Good one.
Right. He had 143 catches. I was in college.
And according to the streets, a few bodies on top of
Hey, you know what I mean?
Catch your balls on the field, catch your bodies off of it.
Hey, you know what I mean? Don't see nothing, don't say nothing. You know what I mean? But yeah, Marvin was my dude. You growing up, everybody loves Jerry Rice. But then like when I was in college, I was looking at the receivers that were out there, and T.O. 6'3", 200 and something pounds, and then Randy Moss 6'4", jumping up over everybody. Like I like to be like Moss, but I'm only 5'11", like 160. I was like this little dude is balling. I like him, so I studied Marvin Harrison. He's like my favorite. But I mean, you got to put Randy Moss up there, and this is in no particular order. You could always argue it. But Randy Moss is one of the best to ever do it. I mean, he's got a verb, right? Ain't nobody getting riced. You know what
ain't nobody getting Art Monk.
Yeah, you ain't getting monked, right? But Art Monk, obviously legendary Hall of Famer, but Randy Moss is up there.
I'm the biggest Art Monk fan in the world, so I'm like, ouch.
I mean, hell, I didn't get to watch much Art Monk growing up, right?
Yeah.
Plus, he was very, very understated. He didn't talk to the media. He didn't dance. He wasn't, but he quietly retired. Probably when he retired, he's probably the greatest. When he left, obviously Rice
most
came
receptions,
and all that.
It was Rice broke his career reception mark.
Yeah,
broke all of his records.
Yeah, I mean Jerry was a consummate pro. I remember watching him. He dropped a pass once, and I was like, "What the hell going on?" Like,
I always have a problem with the Moss and Rice because I always felt like Moss was probably the most talented, but I always felt like Rice was still the greatest. But I always felt like if not to slight Moss's work ethic, because I'm sure in order to be a Hall of Famer, you have to be having impeccable work ethic. But it seemed like Rice was at another level at it, and I felt like that's what if that kind of work ethic ever got to Moss, he would be clearly the GOAT. Yeah. But that's the only reason I put him above him. It's like
I see
Mayweather
that.
and Ali. I'll be like, Ali's
Rice
the
had
greatest.
to though, right? Moss was a
Mayweather.
physical specimen. Rice
Yeah,
had
Right.
nothing that off the chart like the measurables, so he had to
Yeah.
be better at his craft. At least that's how I
That's
see
what.
it.
But you can look at it like though. You can say, well, that makes Moss even more amazing because he didn't even really even, you know.
It's kind of like Shaq, right? Like
Right.
Shaq was so dominant, and then
Yeah.
Kobe would be so pissed off, be like, dude, if you would just work more, you would just be completely unstoppable. You make all your free throws. But I mean,
but I ain't got to.
yeah, he's like, I don't got to.
Yeah.
I got Twizzle. I got
Yeah.
Twizzle, man.
But I mean,
Got a
like, shoot,
mixtape.
give me Randy Moss. You put a Jerry Rice up there. Give me Marvin Harrison. Who else would be on my top list? It's like you could easily say T.O. He's on the top of my tongue. I feel like
I love
T.O.
T.O.
I feel like T.O. is he's a physical specimen. Obviously was a great player. He could be that one where it's kind of like maybe like a 6 and a 7. Some underrated guys. I love underdogs and underrated cats.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at the Bengals. I'm like, why isn't Chad Johnson getting more conversation? Like Chad was a baller.
Yeah, Chad was a baller, man.
Route running like crazy. I mean, he's a favorite. Steve Smith, undersized, just a straight dog with it.
Right.
So many. I mean, Michael. You could put Michael Irvin in there. Depends on how you look at it.
Sterling Sharp.
He got hurt though, and like shortened his career. He was killing. He was really killing. I mean, then you go to the Rams.
Isaac Bruce,
Torrey Holt. Like pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, Keenan McCardell was balling back in the day.
Yeah,
so many great receivers.
That was a dude, and that was a dude who I always cheered for. And he was actually drafted by Washington and didn't make the roster the first go around. He came back.
Yeah,
it's funny how that works.
He was my coach that first year
in 2010.
Yeah, he was on staff. He was on staff.
He was on Washington staff, man.
Yeah,
and I would assume he's got to be a really good coach because he just his whole game was very cerebral because he wasn't a physical specimen. So I imagine he had to be a good coach.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. I definitely learned a lot from him. Learned a lot from Santana. Learned a lot from Joey Galloway. It was more just like whatever y'all doing.
So you ever worked out with Joey Galloway? How was that?
So no, I didn't work out with him. He showed up. No, he just showed up. You know, they signed him in that off season, and I'm like, man, that's Joey Galloway. I'm like, dang, you old as hell. But then I laughed because like I'm as old now as he was when he came in. Like he was like 37 or 38.
Yeah, but he was like I'm talking about workout with him, like lifting weights and stuff.
Nah, man, I didn't ever work out with him. I just know he was always fast. I was like, you can still run.
Jacked. That
was
jacked.
Like DK Metcalf jacked.
Nah, he's not that big.
Yeah.
He's more slight, but he is ripped up. Very fast.
Sliced.
He is very fast.
He looked like then how Rod Gardner looks like now. And y'all are Washington fans and you're not following Rod Gardner on Instagram. He's a funny follow. But that dude, you wish he had been in that shape when he played.
Should we have McCoon? He was ripped like that.
Man, I tell you, there's so many things that you go back and look. You're like, man, I wish I would have.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch I wish I would have done. You know, back when I was playing. But hey, it is.
Then we get old.
Yeah,
life goes on.
I mean, I feel like hell. If I'd have changed just a couple of things, I'd have still been playing now if I wanted to.
Yeah. Probably so, man. Shy Guns asked, who do you think is the favorite in the NFC? You got some good folks. You got Arizona, who's probably at the top right now of most people's lists, and then of course Dallas at 8-4.
Would you take Arizona over Tampa Bay if they played today, though? Like if they had a match today and both were at full force, who would you take over them two?
I think I got to lean on Tom Brady just because he's the GOAT.
I agree.
The beautiful thing about Arizona is that is probably the best head coach and quarterback mesh that you're gonna get. That's the only reason Cliff Klinger got that job, is because he runs the exact offense that Kyler Murray is going to be successful in. Like you can't say, "Hey, we're going to get put Kyler Murray in Tennessee and run that offense and him be successful.
He came from what?
Colt McCoy looked good in it though. So
Colt McCoy he's a smart player. He's a
he
really
can spin
smart
it
player.
at least. He can spin it.
Yeah, he's
a Texas legend in his own right?
Yeah,
for sure.
UT,
one of the best quarterbacks in college ever.
Yes.
Hell, in high school, can't take it from him. Yeah, can't take it from him. I mean,
he can play. Cole can play, so he's going to be smart enough to have some success. But I mean, Kyler's been in that style of offense his whole entire life.
Kingsbury came from he was Texas Tech, right? Was he Texas Tech?
He played at Texas Tech. He played in that air raid offense. He recruited Kyler Murray. He's been trying to get Kyler Murray literally his whole entire career. Now it's like, hey, if I have the number one pick, I would take Kyler Murray and USC. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to Arizona. Look at that.
Yeah.
So
I
mean, I would lean on Tampa just because they got Tom. Arizona's defense is playing really well. I'm interested to see just if the Rams going to finally put it all together, because I mean Cooper Kupp is playing out of his mind.
It's Stafford, man. He's going to tank.
Man, the thing about I'll say Stafford is definitely an upgrade. He's an upgrade from Goff.
Man, you can say but Goff got to the conference finals, man. Until Stafford gets to the conference finals,
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you about it. I don't know Jared Goff personally. It ain't no shade or nothing. I've never been a huge everybody's like, oh my God, he's the next. I've never really thought that. I felt like he's
overrated.
Stafford won one game with the Lions last year too.
That is true.
I mean,
Stafford has a much bigger arm, and that's what that offense was missing.
Yeah, Jared
Goff is a guy that's like, you told me to do it 1, 2, 3, check it down. I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, check it down. If you take it back to that play, it was against the Patriots, and you started to realize it was in the Super Bowl. They started playing the keeps differently, right? The way that those keeps are supposed to work. That guy on the end line, he usually rushes down, the quarterback can roll back out. Well, the way they played it, they sent somebody to just say, don't even worry about the fake, and they run straight up field. That immediately triggers hot route to the quarterback. And so Goff did exactly what he was supposed to do, but then Belichick was thinking one play ahead. He's I'm going to make him throw this pass, and then we're going to have somebody right there to make the play. And once you see that, you're like, that's simply what it is. Goff is going to do what you tell him to do.
Yeah, Goff is going to be golfing.
He's just doing what you tell him to do.
If you saw the Hard Knocks when they first came out, it was Jeff Fisher's. Was it his last year? He got fired. I can't remember, but it was clear that Goff was just he is the most famous 8-8 coach that kept a job for I don't know how he kept the job so long, but you could see Goff just wasn't there. And he did exactly like you said, and like 1, 2, 3. Like I don't know anything else outside of that 1, 2, 3, but I can get you the 1, 2, 3. And that year he got drafted, the quarterback talent was, it wasn't a whole lot to go off of.
I mean, you look at the years we got like Blaine Gabberts and stuff like that come out, and they're like, oh, this is the next one. I'm like, y'all just saying that because he the one this year. Like, you don't got to make a story about every quarterback coming out. But,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good game manager, right? Yeah. Game manager. He's going to do what you ask him to do. But there's a time and a place where you need a guy that's going to like make that big boy throw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be able to make a big boy throw. Yeah. And he's doing that. What did he do? He threw it away on a 4th down, and they booed him. Not too.
Stafford makes that big boy throw.
Because he got a big ass arm.
He does.
He didn't have much around him. Now you can say, okay, he won one game in Detroit.
Yeah.
Now you have a stacked offense. Yeah. You got to be successful now. I mean, another guy that kind of falls in that category is, Matt Ryan. I'm not a huge Matt Ryan fan. I think he's just kind of a, another little hyped up Jared Goff person.
He got an MVP and a Super Bowl appearance.
Super Bowl. Okay, look, you was up 28-3. Now, at some point. Now, you could everyone point all these fingers. Look, Matt Ryan's had Tony Gonzalez. He's had Julio Jones for many, many years. He had Roddy White, who was the leading, the franchise leading receiver. He's had some hellified running back. He's had a hellified offense every single time he's been there.
Sounds like Chris Paul to me.
Clippers.
Yeah, they screwed him on getting that first trade over there to the Lakers when he first tried to get out there. What did that say? Thomas saying was my favorite current active uninjured player, and then injured included. So he's talking about on Washington.
Yeah, but I think he meant on Washington. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a huge Terry McLaurin fan, and I think that's easy.
And that's the next question.
That's
what do
the
you
next
think
question.
about Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin is so underrated; it's ridiculous. Like
I don't think he is anymore. I think he's going to be rated exactly where he should be at the end of the year.
We'll see. But I feel like people put Terry in that like Keenan Allen category.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is so underrated.
Keenan Allen's tough, man.
Yes, he runs routes. I mean, he's not the fastest. He is not the fastest, but he's going to get open. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to make plays. And Terry does this. I think, what was it? Jason Reed was like, Terry McLaurin is not a superstar. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. You got your damn mind. He's like,
meanwhile, he's the NFL.
Jason Reed, you understand, Jason Reed made his living as a Washington beat reporter, hating everything this team did. So
I will
take that with a grain of salt.
I will say that was one thing they told us, not specifically about Jay Reed, because we're cool, but like coming in, they were like, man, you got to watch the media, man, because they try to tear you down.
Tune it out.
Look, Terry McLaurin has been the best receiver and probably one of the best players on offense for this team as long as he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had a number two. He has not had a somebody to take the pressure off of him. And they just force the ball to him every single third down, and he makes plays.
Yep, he still leads the league.
You got to give this dude some respect. You got to give him some respect, man. I mean, like I would so hope that Curtis Samuel can just have a huge impact and just take some pressure off. Because if he can, now things start flowing a little bit. That's what we need to happen.
You think Curtis could be the Reggie Wayne to Terry's Marvin Harrison?
Man, shoot.
Because for some reason I watch Terry, and Marvin Harrison is one of the guys that comes to mind because of the low-key demeanor and because of the fact that he's always making the catch no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, he could be. I mean, he's just now getting back on the field, needing to stay healthy. It's tough to come back from, soft tissue injuries like that, especially if you're trying to go full speed. He's a burner. If you can't run fast, I mean, hell, I suffered that plenty of times. You pull a hamstring, that's my best weapon is getting downfield, pushing the ball downfield. So if I can't run, it don't help us out as much. But can he? Yes. But when is it going to happen? Hopefully on Sunday. So we need him to show up to help take some pressure off of Terry. Now with Logan going out, Logan's been out anyways, but Logan going out again. It's like, damn, now you miss that presence inside. Maybe Ricky Seals-Jones can do something, but my second favorite player, at least on offense, I like AG. I like Antonio Gibson. He came from playing receiver, and now he's toting that note. You know what I mean? I'm loving Taylor Heineke when he doesn't turn the ball over. But I think I know that we all do, but I will say this. The same thing that you love him is you love him for the fact he's scrappy and he like keeps plays alive, but then that's also where he gets in trouble sometimes, right? So as long as he's not turning that ball over, man, he's playing good ball. Like we don't need him to be, he don't need to be a Tom Brady. He don't need to go and play out of his mind.
Right.
Just execute the offense, get the ball where he needs to go. And he will make a big boy throw. He'll make a throw here and there. He'll make a throw. And he's got a guy like Terry that's gonna make that catch for him. So
that's right. Hey, our boy Tony, thank you for welcome. Go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up because I had this argument all the time with people, especially earlier in the season when people were questioning whether or not we should have AG as a running back. They wanted to move. People were talking about we should move him to wide receiver. That's what he played in college. And I don't know how much you've seen of Antonio Gibson playing receiver or out there catching passes, but I was just wondering if you ever noticed that he did early in college and earlier in his career have a habit of body catching as opposed to hand catching. I don't know if you ever noticed that or not. I always said that kind of mitigates. I would say that now I will say this: that touchdown catch he had against the Raiders is the absolute best form I haven't seen him do on a catch, because he actually reached out for the ball, caught it, brought it back to him instead of letting the ball come to him.
Yeah.
And I figured you as a receiver, maybe you picked up on it too. But then again, he doesn't run routes nearly as much as like a J.D. McKissick, so kind of a limited sample size. I don't know if you ever picked up on that or not.
I hadn't watched him run a whole bunch of routes. I watched a little bit of his tape prior to the draft. They showed some of his stuff, but it was the way they used him was in more of a kind of an athlete role, just try to get him the ball quickly in space. And now they're just able to turn around and hand it to him. I'm loving how he's developing into a running back. I mean, the O-line is creating some space for him. But like when you think about a guy like that can, run around and run some routes here and there, it gives you so much more flexibility on offense. And that's mismatches on defense, right? So you got, like, let's say, for example, Leighton Vander Esch, right? I'm gonna take AG being able to beat Leighton Vander Esch on an option route. Look at how the Packers are using some of those running backs, and they even threw Randall Cobb in the backfield, run a little quick H post that he just has to read off of this the linebackers leverage. AG can do that, and the way that the game is going, things are more lateral and horizontal and quick short passes, and he's able to succeed with that. Once again, he's probably a guy that you're not going to take him to Tennessee and fill him in for Derrick Henry, because he's not going to be able to take that type of a pounding. No. But the way that they use him in this offense, it works out well for his skill set.
Yeah. And
plus,
Tony,
they can throw Samuels in the backfield too, like they did on third and four.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Yeah.
I saw him do that. I was like, creative. Nice.
Tony says, who was a tough DB you had to go against practice in Washington?
Practice is, you talking about practice, right? Practice is
not the game.
So here's the thing.
I always love Anthony's take on practice, because y'all gonna get, if you weren't on the first time we had Anthony on, he's about to educate y'all.
Look, practice is exactly that. You get some cats who read the scripts and study the scripts, and like you think about it, you going against the same people all summer. Offenses ain't changing. They learn your rule. They learn how you run routes. They learn. So almost everybody gets to be difficult. But I mean, in practice, like going against D Hall was always difficult because he was just a wild card. Like if he thought you were seeing, like if he saw you running a route, like he'll look at the route combination, he'll jump something, and he's supposed to be in deep third. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Right? Like I remember there was a play. I was supposed to run an under route. And they were running a trap two, and this trap two is where it's like a Pittsburgh Steelers cover two, where the corners actually play inside, and they try to jump inside routes. Normally, they try to force everything inside and not let you get outside. Well, I ran up and I was starting to do the under route. He jumped that. I just stayed outside. Quarterback threw me the ball. I was able to get a few more yards. The coach was yelling at me. He's like, "You're supposed to run the route." And then the other receiver, like Santana, was like, "No, he playing ball." Like you gotta be able to adjust on the fly. So D Hall was difficult because he was going to do some things that you weren't prepared for, but he was also going to be able to catch the ball if it was anywhere inside of his, wingspan. Who else was tough? I can't remember too many other people over there that we played, that we had. I know Carlos Rogers. Carlos Rogers was a guy. I know that's probably one of those names where y'all like, man. He was always like, oh shit, because he was that close to making a play in practice all the time. He was like, dang, and you knew that you had to be on your stuff whenever you went against him. But yeah, those were probably the two toughest in Washington, just because they had some legit skills. After a while, you started to. As I developed, I learned how to I was like, I can just beat y'all. Some of y'all, I was like, I got y'all. I ain't even worried about it. So D Hall and Los, because you had to be on your game every single time, or else you're going to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Somebody else had a question. Did somebody else have a question come through there?
We had another one that said, asking you, what year did you officially hang up the cleats?
I haven't actually.
Yeah.
I never filed the paperwork. You see the
See?
jersey back there? I'm ready to go, man.
Hey,
Y'all,
ladies and
come to
gentlemen, he is
Dallas,
ready to
man. I'll
go.
pop it
Sign
on.
this man.
I
Sign
might.
this man.
I would probably pull both hamstrings at one time. But no, my last year playing ball, I had a training camp in Cleveland in 2014.
Okay.
Like really wild story about how I got up there. Like I finally returned a phone call from like that I never returned from 2 years. I kept the voicemail for 2 years. I called Kyle. I called Richmond Flowers, and I was like, "Does Kyle have the same phone number?" I never called him back, and he's like, "Yeah, give him a call." So I called him. I was like, "Hey, just appreciate you for everything. You're having me in Washington. I enjoyed it. You know, whatever." He called me back and was like, "Hey, do you want to play ball?" And I was like, "You damn right." And so that's when I went to Cleveland. But he had him and the GM, they didn't get along.
Yeah.
And so the GM got me up out of there. I had started all summer, and it was like a super surprise when I got cut. But 2014 was the last year. It was at that point. It was kind of time. It was like I'm not about to go through this again. If I did go back on a team, it was like, be real with me. What are the expectations? What do you want me to do? As long as we can be clear on our understanding what to do, I was down to go. But if it was like hey man, we want to bring you in for an opportunity, I was like, look, I'm not a camp body.
Right.
Leave me home in Dallas. I'll do something else.
Was that when Manzan was there in 14?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Hey, our boy Cody says, "Was shaking fellas. Hail Anthony. Missed y'all gushing over my boy Bates last pod. Say his name. Cody's a big John Bates fan. Out of Boise State. He's our new big rookie tight end. Got some shoes to fill with Logan being out. I'm a big Logan Thomas fan myself, but
well, tell John to put something on tape this week, man. You want to be a legend in DC? Do something against Dallas.
What do you think the Heineke meter is going to be like if he pulls it off, though? If he has a Colt McCoy Dallas game?
Oh man, y'all know y'all gonna put a statue up in front for that boy. He gonna beat Dallas. He gonna have a statue out there, man.
Still premature.
Like Heineke. I mean, like I said, Heineke. You know, you love him for the same reason that you hate him, but I can say that he's grown. He's grown as a quarterback. I feel confident when you see like last week when it was like 2 minutes and change, and he had to make a drive. I had confidence. I'm like, he's going to do this. Like it wasn't one of those like, oh Lord, have mercy, Lord, please just hope he doesn't mess up. I had confidence in the fact that he was going to be able to drive the team down the field and put the ball, get in scoring position and do something with it in a positive sense.
Right.
It's you don't always have that feeling. You haven't always had that feeling. You know, it used to be where it was like, damn, they gave up the game. They gave up this touchdown. And it's like, well, we ain't got nothing else going on offense. So I'm confident. I have confidence in them. I have confidence in them. And I personally, I think this team can go on a good run and finish this and make it into the playoffs.
In the East, it's definitely positive. I mean, it's possible with the up and downs, and you don't need, we can't do 8-8 anymore, but you could be 8-9 or, but so let me ask you this. So what is your vibe down there being in Texas? You're in like Central Texas, right? Dallas area.
Yeah, that's North Texas.
Texas.
They call it North Texas, but it's not even the northernmost part of Texas, but that's neither here nor there.
So what's the vibe down there this week? So for up here, you've been here. We have Dallas week, right? You kind of alluded to it, but we have Dallas week. Like on social media and Twitter, I posted a couple funny memes, and I got all these Cowboys fans hitting me back, and it's just like, this ain't even a week for us. This is just another game. So is it not reciprocal? Is the rivalry not like what do they feel about this week down there?
I'm telling you, it's literally just another game.
Yeah.
And there's no, the only games that people get really hyped for is like the big primetime ones. You know what I mean? Like, the Tom Brady and the Bucks are coming to town, or the Rams are coming to town.
There's not any extra like pageantry it goes into the week.
Bro, no. There's no pageantry. Like there's so much stuff happening in this city. And I mean, there's obviously a lot happening in DC, but like people are diehard Cowboys fans, but you don't have as many people that have like Cowboys. There's not a lot of Cowboys license plates. I don't know how many Cowboys tattoos that you got down here.
Right.
right? There's probably a few, but you go to DC, like you're gonna see DC license plate, Redskins license plate, Washington, and it's everywhere. Down here, it's literally just another game. Cowboys play on Sunday. All right, cool. They expect them to win. Everybody's going to blame some on Jerry. Jerry needs to sell the team. It's the same old story, but it doesn't have any extra like oomph to it. I don't even think they have like a rivalry like week. It ain't even like that.
Right.
It's wild to see. That's why it blew my mind getting to Washington where they had a whole Dallas week, and I was like, damn, for real? Like honk if you hate Dallas. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Then what you doing? What you doing on Thursday? And then Thursday is punch a Dallas fan, but please don't punch a Dallas fan, y'all. Don't be doing all of that. Don't be doing all of that. So it's much more. I mean, it's just another week down here for real. It really is.
Boy, Tio says he hopes Big Ron signs both you and Pierre. Pierre, another good friend of our show, man. That would be
Mr. Garcon.
That would be sick if we had both you guys back on the team.
I love Pierre, man. Pierre is a good dude, man. He came in. He took my spot, but no, he came in. Pierre used to have some of the craziest catches.
Yeah.
And he was like built he's a solid dude, right?
He played big. He played big.
Country strong guy, man.
Yeah, Haitian cat. You know what I mean? So just strong, and he's from like a D2, D3 too as well, like Mount Union.
One of
the best division. So I'm a Division II guy too. So we both like have that grind. I just wish I got to start earlier. Start at like 22 years old in the league and work my way up. Instead of coming in like 25, 26. So I got mad respect for Pierre, what he did, like what he's done off the field, like community wise as well. So he and
some good socks, by the way.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that he's a guy that could play in this he could play in this league now. The way that they the way Deebo Samuel gets the ball handed off to him on those little tosses and swings. He's got the build to do that. So Pierre could probably play, but I think he's probably chilling on a boat somewhere and enjoying his Mai Tai or something.
He's actually trying to become a professional golfer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I seen him on 980 the other day, man.
Yeah, he did the post game after the Raiders show up here with the ESPN 980 crew AM. So Thomas says, last 10 years, got a lot of people talking ish to me being a Skins fan. Too many Dallas fans around here. I'm just in Virginia. Yeah, there's a lot of Dallas transplants up here. We have some up here that you don't know about. We call it NBD. Never been to Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's people who grew up in the DC area, never been to Dallas. And we don't know why they're Dallas fans.
Hey, I didn't grow up in the DC area, and I'm a Washington fan. I'm in Kentucky.
But you know what? Man. That's not the point we're trying to make right now. We're trying to get against Dallas fans, Dev. Come on. Killing the vibe.
Man, but honestly though, the Redskins fans, they're deep down here. Yeah. Really deep. But they're not, I'm gonna say, obnoxious. Like a Dallas fan in DC, where's Dallas? Because they think DC stands for Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But down here, people be Redskins fan, but they don't really. I saw a dude walking in my neighborhood. Yeah, I'm like, hey man, it was when we were playing the Panthers. I'm like, you think they're gonna win this week? He's like, what? I'm like, oh, your shirt. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about,
man. I wonder if it feels that way. If I was from Washington or from Virginia area, I wonder if I feel that way because I'm in Kentucky, and I kind of feel that way when I see somebody in Louisville wearing a Kentucky shirt. That pisses me off. So I can understand it. Like Rajon Rondo, man, he's from Louisville and went to UK. Like it doesn't make any sense.
You see, I'll tell you this: Dallas fans in Virginia are a special breed. And when I say special, I'm referring to short bus riding.
I'm a Knicks fan, though, Marcus. I'm a Knicks fan, Marcus.
I mean, it's sometimes I just really want to break my whole non-aggression principle. I don't strike first, but sometimes it's like, dude, you need to catch it in the jaw. So Dallas fans, they're not Philly fans obnoxious, but they sometimes see Anthony probably knows Philly fans.
Philly's a whole nother city, man. Goodness. I can appreciate like tough fans, like when you go there and they talking shit. Like I can appreciate that. That's fun. That makes it fun. But don't get throwing stuff though, man. You ain't got to throw nothing.
Yeah.
Don't throw
I
nothing.
went to Philly in 2015 and got a whole beer thrown at me. So
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm not trying to get into that type of altercation.
I was in a Penn Relays once.
You were running or you were throwing?
Pow, went. I was. Hey, I kind of insulted by that comment because I ran track. I ran.
That's what I'm saying. Well, did you
Yeah.
run or were you throwing?
I went my freshman year in 1997, man. Old, I'm old as shit.
Freshman year
This body used
year
to be
high
like
school?
college. This used to be 4% body
no.
fat, man. In college, it used to be abs, less hair.
we can
more
vouch
hair
for
up
this.
here.
We've seen the video of him running a relay,
Yeah.
so we
Okay.
know
that was in the national. That was in Alabama relay, like regionals for the national championships.
He used to be a 4.4 sprinter.
Okay.
4.32 actually. See, you hating on my
Don't-
times,
don't-
I'm
dog.
sorry.
Don't short
Hating on my
him.
times, dog.
Don't short him. See, that's the thing, man.
I was an
Whenever you
offensive
run-
lineman. I ran 4.3 210.
And that's at Shively track at University of Kentucky. See, I knew how fast I was, but I mean,
Okay.
I wasn't quick. I was fast though.
That's okay. That's okay. You got the turning over and you made it happen.
Right.
I love
Hey,
it.
did you know that in 2010 you were third in the NFL in yards per reception at 19.8? Did you know that?
I learned
Third
that. I
in
learned
the
that.
NFL that year.
I learned that after like kind of later on in the year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was like, oh shit, for real? Like,
Yeah.
I was stoked. Like I always tell people, I feel like my whole like NFL career was like a fanboy experience. Sounds crazy, but like you line up across from Charles Woodson. I'm like, oh shit, this is Charles Woodson. Oh my God, this is Charles Woodson. Like you hype like that, right? Or you on the stats and you see like I'm behind D-Jack and Mike Wallace, like two like perennial deep threat receivers, and then Anthony Armstrong. You know what I mean? Like it blows my mind. It surprises me. I don't know. I'm a humble guy, but like it just I would have never imagined. I'm just a kid that I wanted to play football, and then I was stubborn enough to keep playing football because I didn't want to go sell the insurance. Like that's literally what happened. I failed my physical. I didn't get drafted. I went to Atlanta for the rookie minicamp. I had broken my wrist and tore it. You see that little scar?
Yep.
I had surgery. And when I got out of the cast, it was like right after the draft in 2005. And that was Roddy White was there. And I failed my physical. And they tapped me and took me out of the meeting and sent me back home. I missed a whole year of ball. I started playing flag football. And I was like, man, I'm going to try this thing again. I went to Odessa with the Intense Football League. Played a year there. I ended up going for a tryout, ran a 4.2, ran 2 4.2s.
Wow.
I didn't know how fast I ran. That's what's wild. I ran the 40 and I look back and all the coaches are looking at me like, man, what the hell is this dude?
Yeah.
And they're like, do it again. And I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. So I go back down there. My turn comes back up and I run another one. They handed me business cards. Like, here you go. Like it was Will McClay, Terry, I can't think his last name, but two guys with the Dallas Desperados, guy with the San Jose SaberCats, just giving me cards. And I finished my season, and then in the offseason, I had some workouts, ran a couple more 4.2s, got on with the Desperados. And I just kept telling myself, I got to keep going up. And eventually I got up and made my way to Miami, and I was like, I'm not stopping now. Now I got to play. I got on the field, and I wish I would have said that I got on the field, and I was like, I need to get vested. But then if I said I wanted to play 10 years, then I'd have been playing for 10 years. I didn't readjust my goal. That was the one thing that messed me up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. See,
That's
Thomas,
dope.
you're right. It could have been the end. But I was like, I can still do this thing. I'm going to give it a go.
Marcus says, I went to the Dallas Cowboys headquarters, Diamonds in Louisville, where I live. Cowboys friends, most annoying fans in the bar. So, Dev, you got another fellow Kentuckian.
Louisville guy. Yeah.
Louisville.
We talk about a lot.
Yeah. So, Ant, tell us about stepping a little bit away from football. What else is going on with you right now? How is the real estate business going for you? Pretty
real
good.
estate. Real estate is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Having the kids, and my schedule is very, 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 very full. So I'm leaning more on the listing side, putting my signs in yards and just trying to find creative ways to sell and market those homes. And then we being real, like you get a sign in the yard, like it's gonna sell. But I try to provide the most value for my people,
Right.
like well beyond the transaction. Like I tell them, hey, you can't get rid of me this easy. Like I'm still here. I'm gonna still reach out to you. I'm gonna help you out in whatever you need. I just like to see people win, man. And I guess when you look at my story, coming from, I don't want to say like coming from the bottom in the gutter and like, whatever, just my road to be able to make it to the league. I know that other people can achieve a lot of stuff, and going through real estate is huge. I mean, because you look at the impact that I don't think realtors think about it, man. You have a lot of power in this situation. You can change an entire legacy of a family, right? I talked to a 40-year-old dude. He was like, I've never owned a house. I've never lived in a house. He's only lived in apartments his whole entire life. So I'm like, God, we got to get you into a house. And that will just change your mindset. And then you look at the facts that, education for the kids are better if it's a house, if you own the house, right? Just so many things fall in line with that. And it's a special business. Personal training with Camp Gladiator.
Yeah.
That's fun. I feel like my league experience, it makes me have a very, very, very short. I have a lot of tolerance, but I don't deal with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, Dev, if you say you coming to work out, come to work out. Right. Like I'm gonna love on you if you there. If you show up to camp, I'm gonna give you the best workout that you can get. I'm gonna coach you. I'm gonna give you all that I got.
Don't waste your time though.
But I'm not finna chase you down.
Right.
Like I can't do it.
You guys get it early in the morning too, don't you?
Yeah. I run a 5 a.m. 2 days a week. 6:30 p.m. that same day. And right now, since the wife is down, I'm gonna be running her 5 a.m. 2 of those other days. So 4 days a week, I get up at like 3:30.
Oh, she hosts sessions too.
Yeah, she was first.
Okay.
Right? She was first.
Oh, she got you into it.
Yeah, it was actually.
So she made you do it, huh? She made you do it.
No. Here's the deal, Dev. I'm cheap. I am frugal. So here's what happened. No, we were pregnant with our first, right? And excuse me, there was a sale on a certification, and she was like, "You might as well get certified because whenever I have the baby, you can cover for me." And I'm like, "You damn right, because I don't want to pay $50 a pop. I'll just do it." So then I covered for another trainer, and then I covered for her, and then eventually I took over a camp, and it's just been kind of like a family business. We're trying to build a little empire over here, impacting lives like crazy. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Been doing it for like 3 years now, and then real estate's been going on for about 9 years. And they kind of feed each other. It's a beautiful thing. Very rarely do you have a lead source that you actually get paid from. You know what I mean? So being able, I remember seeing people come in, can't squat, can't move, have no rhythm, and then they work with you for a while, and then now they're squatting, they're moving, they're doing stuff that they couldn't do before.
What about people like me that can't even tie their shoes because I'm so fit? Nah,
hey,
I'm not that bad yet.
I'll eventually don't even let it be yet. Don't even say yet. Like eventually,
I'm at the when I tied. I'm not I can't tie yet, but
I need you to. I'm gonna get you some slip-ons, and we're gonna get out there and work. All I want you to do is just show up. If you show up, I promise you.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like Orson Welles and eat my fat ass to death. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen.
Don't claim.
I'm gonna go out sound like Unicron.
He says that.
Dr. Cloud.
Anthony, you gotta say something with this guy. This is the same guy who literally sat on this podcast and said, "If I train for a month, I can run a 4.640."
I can do that, dog. I'm telling you. Like everything's still cool on me except my belly, man. I look like a Eminem character, but other than that, I'm shaped like the bad guy in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Literally, you can tell he used to run because he's got the skinny arms, the skinny legs.
It's just the stuff in the middle that we got to.
I'm like T-Rex.
Yeah.
now.
It's
That's
like
me.
he's
Yeah.
got this like turtle shell right in the middle of his
It's
body.
hard. It's like the visceral stuff too. That, your mama warned you about.
Man, look, you could do it, Dan.
I'm just
All
gonna hit
y'all
the
could do
lottery.
it.
I'm gonna hit the lottery and go to Miami and just have some doctor chop it off.
Don't go get you no BBL or
Like
nothing, man.
Drake.
Hey, and
Don't
Tom,
get no
I'm gonna give me some leg press on abs, and I'll
Lord have
be good to
mercy.
go. I'm gonna give one of them
Lord
little
have
fleece, fleece fronts.
our,
Am I
our,
gonna have
You
full
our
seen
boy,
head hair?
those? So, yeah, everybody had a full. How old are you? Like 31 or something?
Who, me?
How old are you for real?
38, man.
Yeah, that ain't nothing, man. I did 38,
I'm
30.
38.
That ain't nothing.
I know it. I know it.
hey,
He-
Thomas says, can we just replace old Raiders fan? That's Rod, if you remember Rod with you. I mean, it makes sense. He said you said you were cheap.
Hey,
Andy will always be an honorary watch the football addict, regardless
got
of where you
5
stand,
on
man.
it.
Regardless.
man, I am a cheap. I am so I think I'm cheap just because I got to the league. I was like, this thing gonna last long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Go
like
to X-
25.
Go to XFL, man.
Boy, no.
Coming back 2020. Yeah, next
Bro,
year. Next year, I
no,
think,
sir.
23.
Honestly, bro, I'd say the people are like, you gonna go back and play? I'm like, well, number one, and not to sound like an asshole, but the check ain't big enough. That's
Right.
the
Sure
first
ain't.
thing. And number two, I honestly I don't want to get in the way of somebody else's dream. Right?
Yeah.
There's some kid that's like, I'm gonna play in the XFL, and I get them. They reach out to me all the time, man. Like, man, well, what do I do? How do I get to the league? I'm like, bro, you just got to go out there and get it. Like, wherever you go, make plays.
That's a
So you
great
gotta be
transition to the next
better
question.
than
Marcus
you are
says,
now.
do you talk to young football players about life after football or before football, just like you were saying?
Man, I try to impart wisdom upon them if I get in contact with them, just because there's so much that you get access to. Number one, I did tell my client with the Cowboys, I'm like, look, you're at a young age where you're going to have a very big salary right at a very young age. You could basically be set for life if you take care of your money. But then you have to start thinking, how do I build on this? You know what I mean? How do I start to generate, like build a brand behind this thing? I mean, the internet is a beautiful thing now. I've been doing some internet shows with like Dave. Y'all remember Dave Ross from Fox 4 up there in DC?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there in Vegas now. He's doing some stuff. So I've been on his show as a correspondent.
Cool.
And it's like, I'm like, man, okay, so I got all these people watching me. I need to generate something that, if somebody likes the shirt I'm wearing, they can buy it from me. You know what I'm saying? There's so many options out here. You just got to take care of yourself. You don't need all the stuff you think you need. Just because you can buy it don't mean you need it. I mean, and
I read a book on. It wasn't really on Zen, but maybe about like Buddhist stuff like that. And the guy was talking about the worst thing about people is that their ability they always want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you could cut the things you want out, you would be a lot happier in life.
It's not even that though, Dev. And this has went down a whole other path. This is when you start to learn that you can live without. There's a lot of stuff I want. Like I would love to have a Lamborghini in the yard. I don't want to pay for it, but I would love.
Right
I
here.
mean, I'd love to drive a Lambo, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? I can live without one. There's
You
a
got
lot
you
of
got
things.
a you got a Lambo though, don't you?
No, baby. Look, I got a little Benz GLA 250, so that's a little itty bitty little car. We got a Toyota Highlander, and we got the wife's 2009 Corolla. It's got about 150 miles.
So, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't
have.
have a Lambo, but he got 8 other
Yeah.
cars.
Hey,
I
he
got-
said he's a humble man. He's a humble man.
I got 3 cars. It's got like 60,000 miles, 77,000 miles, and 150,000 miles.
What about the ones the IRS don't know about? What about them cars?
Boy, look, while you talking, I got a letter from them right here. I need to pay them. I'm not evading anything. Thank you very much. So don't be getting me started.
I just
No,
got my tax return back last
Yeah,
week.
I got 3. Yeah, they're running behind. They're running
Oh my
behind.
gosh.
Okay, they're running behind.
Crazy.
If you're mailing in a check to the IRS right now, they're putting it in a box in a room somewhere. I don't know when they're going to get to it. Okay, but no, I just try to get what I need, and I try to live well below my means, and I think that once you can do that, and really at any level, I mean, you could be in the league. You could just have a regular, 9 to 5. You live
Right.
below your means, you'll be good. Like, you don't have to have. Just because I see Dev balling with his headset and stuff, don't mean I got to go get his headset. Is yours
Yeah, right.
wireless?
Yeah. I can't. Nah. This is my girlfriend's headset. That's how I broke up. That's what you
Hey.
call frugal. It's purple.
Hey,
Look at that.
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right.
with it.
I'm at her house.
I honestly will say I have to force myself sometimes to be like, okay, get the nice thing in this instance. I tried to do the cheap microphone, but then that didn't work. So I was like, let me just get the nice mic. Then my kids broke it, so now I had to get another one. See, the cheap one is over there on the shelf right there. You can see it. It's up there. That's the little cheap one. It's horrible, but hey, it is what it is.
Man. So what do you final thoughts on Sunday? How do you think that game fares out at Sunday at 1:00?
Well, number one, need the fans to show up.
Yeah, Phil and I will both be there. We will be in the stands.
Yes,
already.
We will be there.
Do your part.
Yeah.
Do your part. I mean, you already know what you're going against. You're going against an explosive offense, right? They got 3 just stellar receivers, and real talk. Hell, Michael Gallup about to be a free agent. Obviously, you just got done paying Curtis Samuel, but man, the show would be nice to bring old Gallup over there and have him get to play Dallas twice a year. I'm sure he'd enjoy that. But we need that back end to be sound against these 3 receivers, right? Coop is going to be Coop. CD is going to do his thing. You just got to prevent those big plays from those receivers. And I would love who's the tight end? Schultz.
Yeah,
I would love Dalton Schultz to just get all the little catches underneath. If you can keep the ball away from these other cats, that'd be good. Last week did a shitty job of tackling against the Raiders, so you got to tackle better. We don't have to do anything too crazy. It's more of a control thing. Control the game on offense. Don't turn it over. No turnovers. If you can steal 1 or 2 on defense, that's huge, right? Don't turn the ball over, right? They got DeMarcus Lawrence back. They got Micah Parsons now, right? So they're both doing things. So we need to be able to run the ball with AG. You need to be able to be creative on offense. Don't be too cute though. But you got to be able to move the ball downfield. I think you can take advantage of Trayvon Diggs, right? The same way that Terry did last year.
Yep.
I think that Terry can get him again. But the thing is, Trayvon don't follow nobody. He's not finna flip sides. But I don't think you need to run away. I don't think you need to be like, you don't need to run away from him. You just have to. You gotta have to double move him because he likes to jump a lot of routes. But then, like, if you catch him, he'll find himself in the slot on somebody. But you got to be able to take advantage outside of that. No blown coverages, play discipline. Bobby McCain, like, honestly, it's got to be. Look at the previous games. Look at the previous games that Dallas has struggles on. Take that recipe, take that blueprint, right? Keep everything in front of you. They're going to try to force something.
Yeah.
Because Mike McCarthy then came out here talking all that mess. We're going to win the game. I bet.
Dude can't even guarantee a win with diabetes.
It's like, shoot, you got to get out there and get on the field. I think if you just play sound, Tony Pollard is a guy that they got to watch because he's explosive. He's a really good player. But I'm just saying, just keep it boring. It don't got to be high scoring. If it gets to be high scoring, we in trouble. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because the offense is really not a high scoring offense. See, was it zero turnovers? AG and Heineke effective. Yep. Defense steps up. Dig didn't have a defensive touchdown. 34. I think 34-31 is too much.
Right. Nobody's scoring 34 points.
We can't. I don't see us getting 34. Like, it's got to be like a
20-17.
2017,
15,
24,
15,
17.
17.
You know, like it's kind of got to be an ugly game, right? It's
It's
got to
been
be an
15,
ugly
17 the
game.
last two.
Yeah. You know who's going to be a big play of this? Like don't sound sexy at all, but Tress Way. Like
Field position.
field position. Like
My favorite player.
when we don't get no, you know, if the offense can't get something going, he's got to pin them deep. Special teams got to play well. It's got to be a full game, a full effort from the entire team. That's your best bet. But this it's not me. I'm not coming into it like a little brother mentality. Like, man, who knows what's gonna happen? I think that you can play your game, but just know that everybody got to be on top of their stuff, not try to do too much. If we can get something out of Samuel or somebody other than Terry, that would be love.
Yeah. Tressway shows up every week. And then somebody else said, I heard Micah might not play. I just checked it out. Micah's playing. Tony Pollard's questionable, so Micah's going to be there.
Look, they're playing until they're not. All right.
Yeah.
Dante Stallworth used to say that Bill Belichick would always say, don't worry, he'll be there.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, he's questionable. Don't worry, he'll be there. Questionable just means it's 50-50 legally. That's why Belichick puts everybody as questionable.
Oh, man, the king of it.
Question.
King of it.
Tom Brady's questionable. Oh my God, is he gonna play? Don't worry, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
So Anthony, when the offseason comes and Gallup's free agent and we're rumored to be pursuing him, you know, if you could do us a solid and you know, tell him all those things you're talking about, how in Dallas you're another guy. You go to Washington, do some things, you'll get love forever.
Yeah.
You could just put that in Gallup's ear. We'd appreciate it.
I'd love to. But I mean, shoot. We just paid Curtis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. And I mean, I
got cap space.
Shoot, man.
Got to pay Terry first.
I would tell you, you better take care of Terry. Don't. Yeah. And I was thinking this the other day. Do not let these homegrown kids get out of here.
Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh! Please don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. If you don't break the bank on Terry McCoy. Hell, sign him now. Sign him before this game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Sign him at the game.
Yes. Hey, this pregame ceremony let you know we signed Terry McLaurin to a 5-year, $125 million contract.
And the name was Commodores. Drop
the Commodores, you like that? I like the Commodores. What do I think of Diami Brown?
Easy like Sunday afternoons.
Say again.
I said easy like I was making a Commodores joke because he said Commodores.
That's the last time Lionel Richie was black, according to Chris Tucker.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. I said it'd be easy like Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, man.
He was like Lionel Richie was like Drake.
Man, I was just having a comment. Some meme came about Drake. I don't even want to get into that, but what did Marcus say? What do I think of Diami Brown? I wish you would see him more on the field. He's kind of gotten eclipsed by Carter.
He caught a good pass last game.
Yeah. That dude came out of left field.
I mean,
Carter's come out.
It seems like Diami is he's a young guy who's got a lot of potential. He's just got to learn how to have success in the league. Like it's tough, man. Like, I mean, when I got there, I can truly say I was a fast guy who I could run some routes, but it was like I had to learn how to be a pro receiver. I had to learn how to operate. I think in college and high school, it's like very simplistic route. You run a go. I honestly hate the offenses. I hate how they just throw it up. Everything is like playing back into the receiver. It's a jump ball. I want to see stuff get caught in stride. Like run by dude, run a post route. Quarterback drops it up there on time. It just hits him in stride.
Most high schools don't have the personnel to teach kids that stuff in high school, though.
Well, is that, and they don't have the time. You know, the coaches don't have the time to truly, teach that stuff. I mean, now people win just by getting folks in space. I covered Texas high school football for 3 years. And it was crazy how like no teams ran dig routes. Everybody ran go route, and they would like put the fastest guy on a go route. They bring the second fastest guy back in, run another go route at the same DB, and then try to do it a third. Like the offenses were so boring.
Yeah.
And that falls its way into college, and those guys get to the league, and then they have to learn how to, hey, you got to run 20 yards full speed and then stop and turn right. And they're like, how the hell do I do that? You know, they've never been asked to do some of those things. So I think that Diami, this upcoming offseason is going to be huge for his development. Because now, you know, DeAndre Carter has found, he's kind of etched himself a little spot in there. I don't know if Adam Humphries is going to be around. I mean, Adam Humphries may not be there. You know, if Diami can, if Humphries or Carter, Diami or Carter can learn to fill that like dependable third down slot receiver spot, Humphries can be gone. And then he's had a good career, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to put Terry in that spot. Or if somebody can play outside, then you get a whole lot of interchangeable pieces. And they just got to learn to be pros. They frankly need to call Santana Moss.
Yeah.
And that's who they need to talk to. Learn from him.
He's still up here.
I know he is.
He's commentating on the sidelines. Bring him in.
Hey, man, look, I learned so much from Santana. I learned how to be a pro from Santana, man. Like,
he's our resident cowboy killer. He's our resident cowboy killer.
Best spin move in history.
No, and he could spin the ball. And spin for like 30 seconds, man. Like, we played Detroit, and I caught a pass, and I'm like a jokester, right? So I done spun the ball, and he's like, hell yeah, Armstrong. And I'm like, damn, my spin is whack as hell, ain't it? In the middle of the play, but you know, we were laughing at it. But I was like, man, I've been trying to work that spin, and it just didn't hit like his. So
you kicking his ass in the Dougie though. You own that one.
Oh, but that's me. I mean, I got to. That's the crib, and it's not Cali Swag District, right? It's Lil Will. Give respect to who it goes to.
It came first, right? Wait, New Orleans, right? New Orleans?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Texas.
Texas.
That's Texas.
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas, baby. D-Town Boogie.
Okay.
Shoot.
See,
came first.
Right there.
Yeah.
That was you know.
Yeah.
I thought it was Rob. I thought it was Rob Bass. It Takes Two. I thought this was where I first seen it.
Well, it was I forget the name of it. It was in the movie. It was in the movie, and he was like, "Yeah, I hit it with the Dougie. Yeah, I hit it with the Dougie." Was it Cold Crush? I hit it with the Dougie. It was like Cameron, I think, and they were like, "I hit it with the Dougie."
It's Paid in Full.
Paid in Full. Paid in Full.
Yeah, but It Takes Two to make. I thought it was like when he did a little dance when he was against the wall. I thought that's what it was.
Maybe so, but the song came out, and my Dougie hit, and I was like, "Yeah."
When he goes 1, 2, 3, get loose. It takes two to make it. That's where he does the dance. That's why I thought it came from.
He did like a no. That was a 2-step. With
he did the whole thing with his head and everything. Watch it.
Yeah,
it takes two to make a thing go right.
See, I would say the Dougie itself is just the head rub part. Now the other little jigging part, that's the D-Town Boogie. Yeah, okay. So it's two different moves.
The little wheelchair move.
I knew the Dougie when I was a kid. We used to do that. It takes two.
You got it with the wheelchair. Yeah. My knees don't appreciate that as much anymore.
No, mine neither, man. Mine neither.
Well, Ed, we wanna thank you so much for joining us on episode 100. This is a special episode for us. Hopefully, many more to come. And thanks for breaking down, some Dallas stuff. And it's always just good to catch up with you, man. You are truly, one of our favorites. So we really appreciate you taking the time and
appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, congrats to you and the family again on Arrow, man. I really hope the next step of fatherhood treats you well. Get some sleep if you can.
Man, I got a game of Madden I gotta go play right now, man.
Oh snap! You don't want them problems.
No, I'm in a. We've been running like a Madden franchise league for I don't know how long.
Any other ex-players in it? Just friends.
No, these are just a couple friends from. So I got like a wild hodgepodge of people. Some friends from like college. Couple of cats are some Miami Dolphins fans, and I met them
All
like
two
at
of 'em?
training camp, huh?
You know, all the like all two of the fans they have. You know,
It was actually 3 of them. I got
Yeah.
3 of them in there. One dude is like a diehard Cowboys fan, and he lives in Cali. And like these other cats are like some just consummate hustlers. They always been in something, but they play the game. And I was like, man, y'all come on and get in this little league with us. And there's some cats
Yeah.
that are in Maryland, that are in the Navy, and so we
Yeah.
got a little nationwide thing going on, man. But these cats
Okay.
are in Portland now, so.
What's your
talking about
system? What do you play on? What's your preferred system?
PlayStation, man. I'm on
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Same here. You on a
Yeah,
I was
5?
too.
You got a 5?
I was too. I couldn't get
Yeah.
one, and it was Series X.
I'm on a PS5, man. I waited. I did not jump on it. I did not pay an exorbitant amount of money because number one, what I say earlier, Dev,
I'm humble.
I'm cheap and frugal. I was like, frankly,
6 cars.
I was like 3. And my wife paid for them.
Yeah.
So there's that.
See,
There
that
you
tells you everything you need to know. He got 3 cars that he's not telling the IRS about, and they all in his wife's name.
Dev, I'm gonna fight you. Don't make me fight you.
Marcus says, "Thank you, Anthony.
We
Be
all-
blessed.
we all watch BMF
See the rest of
here.
y'all on Sunday."
All right, Marcus, we'll see you.
Yeah.
No, man, it's we on PlayStation. It's a lot of fun. I mean, y'all are
Yeah.
more than welcome to join.
Yeah, that
More
might
than
have to be
welcome to
Dev.
I'm
join.
on Xbox. I bust y'all's tail in though. I played the
Man.
Washington. I played the Washington football
Yeah.
team too.
Dev, every time you say that, you go out there, you do not rep the
This was one time I lost. Everybody gonna let it run down, man.
But hold on,
Can't
Ed,
lose
do
one
y'all
time
do
to
y'all
this
play?
age.
Do you play custom rosters? Do you play fantasy? How do y'all do it? Do y'all play as is or you draft?
Man, so me personally, I like to make it as difficult as possible.
Yep.
To play the game, right? So we
Yep.
did start way in the back where it was like you have to pick teams that are in the bottom like third of the league. So it was like 80 overall and under, or like 74 and under. So like you had to pick some trash teams. I want people to develop the roster, try to grow up and make themselves there. So then we found a way doing a fantasy roster. So we do a fantasy draft. So that way it's kind of spread out. But I found that people always trade for the same people. They trade for the fastest cats. So now we're adding in like little caveats where we play with the contracts. Okay. So like the people that run up the stats a lot, we'll reset the contract on your ass. So now you got to pay this quarterback that you've thrown for 30,000 yards and 300 touchdowns in a season. Now he wants to get paid $500 million.
Yeah.
You don't have the cap space to do it. So now you got to let him go. And so we just try to find different ways to make it difficult. That's the way we play. I mean, I got Zach Wilson at quarterback right now. He's doing all right.
Okay.
He's doing all right. Right. We're making it happen. We in the playoffs though.
There you go. Hey, for those out there, go ahead and follow Anthony on Twitter at Mr. Armstrong 13. Anthony, where can they find your gladiator stuff at?
Man, it's on campgladiator.com. You have to look for the wife to look for Jessica Armstrong. She's running the virtual.
Okay.
She's running the virtual. But I mean, for real talk though, it's probably the most affordable thing you can get. Live workouts on your phone or on your computer. They do them via Zoom. I run 4:15 p.m. Central on Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
We just dropped the 8:15 because I got to put the kids to bed now.
Yeah.
So you can catch me twice a week. We have recordings as well. I think I got a couple people there are a couple people in Maryland that do it. So it's a pretty good thing. Eventually CG will make its way up to DC. I don't know where they're gonna do the locations at, but we'll make it up there eventually. Y'all are more than welcome to come out and give it a go.
Yeah.
As well. I'm trying to think. I had something else on my head. I can't remember no more.
Hey, now it's time to plug, man. Give me anything you want to plug.
I've been hit too many times. I guess
oh shit. Oh.
Let me not say that, man. Let me not say that. I tried to avoid getting hit as many times as possible. I will say this: rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas. That was sad news.
Very sad.
That was sad news to hear that.
33
years old, man. It's like, man,
life is precious.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But y'all be safe though, for real.
Yeah. Same to you, and wish for the best on Sunday, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you for joining us again.
Stay on after the theme music.
Yeah. As always, hey, thank you everyone for listening, tuning in with our special guest, Mr. Anthony Armstrong, for episode 100. We'll catch you guys live from FedEx Field in the parking lot on Sunday. I don't know. Well, I don't know how we do it. We're gonna figure it out.
We'll get it some way.
You might be
I know what I was gonna say.
Go ahead, bro.
Yo, if y'all got any NFTs out there, man, y'all shoot them my way on Twitter.
Okay.
Right? Let me see your work. All right, let me see your OpenSea links, right? Send them to me, Mr. Armstrong 13. I've gotten into that NFT space. I like the crypto space.
Yeah.
I'm collecting some things, right? So hey, let me see what you got. Send it over.
The crypto game is something we're slowly getting into. We got on the Doge train. I'm kind of on the SHIB train. I know you're a big XRP fan from our previous conversations, right?
Yeah, man.
You're a Ripple guy.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. It's always fascinating. Just so much to learn about it. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Steve and I are holding on tight to that SHIB.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I got some Shiba too, but and I don't expect to do anything crazy. Like the next time it pumps, I'm getting the hell out of there.
That's what I'm going to do. I can't wait. Dogecoin too. As soon as Dogecoin goes up again,
next time it pumps, I'm gone.
Money showers.
You got to get the ones that have some utility. XRP, Hedera Hashgraph, ADA. They're about to get sued though by the SEC. But ADA is gonna, ADA has got some utility.
That's Cardano, right? That's Cardano.
Cardano. Solana is a good one. I've been kind of like a little file coin here and there. I have a few, but those are some of the ones that I think are going to be, from listening to people that I follow, it seems like those are going to be pretty good. But send me them NFTs, man. I'm looking for some artwork.
That's the next way to go. Hey, real quick, my mom just joined in. Hey, Mom, shout out to you. Love
Mama
you.
Lynn.
Mama Lynn.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Dev, Marcus said he'll be at Diamonds. I don't know what that means, but he's like,
I know what ain't no name.
Hey, you got to wait till GM gives me my profit sharing check. Then we'll be in there.
Get that chip shortage figured
out.
I'm
gonna have 3 cars like Anthony.
Put make sure you invest a third, please. Okay, put a third over there in some sort of cryptocurrency.
I'm gonna invest it. I'm gonna invest it in whatever a girl's name is, Hot Booty. That's what I call it.
Might be named Diamond.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before we close out, I don't know. Tio says, "What nickname does your roster call you, Anthony?" I'm not sure if he's talking on PS4 when you were on the Redskins. I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but
frankly, the only nickname I had is Scoop, and that's out of that was in college.
Okay.
And there was a cat named David Green. He does recruiting for high school. He gets kids in high school, like their college tape out to colleges. And he came out, he was like, "I'm gonna call you Scoop." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And he introduced me to everybody that he knew on campus. And so after a while, I was known as Scoop. Nobody knew who Anthony Armstrong was. Literally my junior year, they were like, "Anthony Armstrong." I'm like, who is that? And they're like, "Scoop." And they're like, okay. Yeah.
No, Scoop down, Scoop. Yeah.
Scoop. Yeah. So Scoop's the one nickname I got, man. But
I got you. I think he was talking about your username on Madden. I don't know.
Well, my PlayStation is Strong 17.
Okay.
Strong 17. If you add me, man, if you can add a message in there, please put a message in there. Yeah. Don't just add me and be like, "Hey, I added you." Like
they spam on PlayStation now. That's crazy, isn't it? They're spamming on PSN now, like bots and stuff. They're trying to get you, and like these fake bots come in and try to get you to have a conversation. Click on this link. They're doing it through the PlayStation Network now too. So
I don't want no.
That's all. I was the Xbox. I hate it.
I don't want no links. Just if you're gonna add me. We can play. I might go play some Call of Duty while I wait for this cat to be done. So
there you go. That's what I play. I'll add you after this. Let's go.
I gotta take Dramamine or smoke or something before I play Call of Duty because I get like motion sickness. So
you can't concentrate.
Sign your ass up for Camp Gladiator, man. Come on,
there you go. Out. You need it. All right, Anthony. We thank you so much, man. We look forward to talking to you soon, and just God bless you and the family, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yes, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, stay on, man.
That's right. As always, peace.
Wake up, Phil.
Hail.
I know I'm promoting out here, baby. I'm doing the social media hustle right now.
Hey, don't
Alright.
hang up after the theme song.
I heard you,
I gotta
Dev.
see
I
it.
heard you, Dev. I ain't going nowhere.
All right, till Sunday. Let's go.
Let's go.